All right, I'll
And
also turn my video off.
right. And Neil, if you want to, I don't know if you already have, but you can set it up with the hide non-video participants so that you're only seeing people with their video on.
So what, hide self view?
Not self view, but actually if you click that same area, there should be something that says hide non-video participants.
I'm not seeing that on mine.
If you go to stop video on the bottom left and then go to video settings, you should be able to see it.
There's a little up arrow.
Oh, right.
To start video. Click up, and it'll bring a pop-up.
Oh, got it.
Right. Oh, sorry. Yes. Sometimes it is not in those three dots.
Got it. I will be muting myself here in a second. So Jane, I'll just turn it over for you.
Okay.
And let's have some fun.
Great. And actors, just so you know, I will basically read everything that is not a parenthetical or a beat, silence, any of those things. Everything else will be read. All right, we will start. Playing Through by Neil Hare. Scene 1, The Palm Restaurant, noon, February 21, 2020. As the curtain rises, we see Chuck, the head waiter at the Palm Restaurant, polishing glasses behind the bar at stage right. He's whistling, content and happy in this daily ritual. It is a bright, sunny day, and the restaurant is well lit. Chuck has worked at the Palm for 30 years and knows everyone in town. And everyone knows him. He's seen it all during his tenure. He's looking forward to a busy Friday lunch. Paul walks into the Palm from a door stage left and heads stage right to the bar. As usual, he's wearing a custom-made suit. This one is charcoal gray with thick chalk gray stripes. Likewise, he has a white custom-made shirt with French cuffs fastened with gold cufflinks, emblazoned with a leaping antelope and a flower, a gift from a former foreign client. His initials are embroidered on the right cuff. His tie is Hermes, red with silver elephants. His black Ferragamos are perfectly shined, his salt and pepper hair slicked back and perfect. Chuck greets him warmly, shaking his hand across the bar.
Hey, Paul, you big handsome devil. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Chuck. You?
Can't complain. Got out, had a great round on Wednesday. Beautiful weather for mid-February. Won some money off that bastard Stein. Life is good. Jack?
You lucky son of a bitch. I haven't played in months. Too busy. Sure. It's just afternoon. I'll have a settler. I need to take the edge off before my guest arrives.
Chuck grabs a lowball glass, fills it with ice, and then pours it to the top with Jack Daniels. He hands the drink to Paul.
Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, baby. So what's keeping you so busy?
Cheers. Travel mostly. Eastern Europe.
I hear it's great this time of year.
Yeah, sure, if you like sub-zero temperatures and howling wind.
I'm sure you found a little something to keep you warm.
I sure tried.
Paul takes another big, long sip of his drink, looks at his watch, and then begins looking at his phone. Chuck keeps setting up the bar and polishing glasses. Enter Swizzle, Carp, Sully, and Rocco, stage left, and they head to the bar. Swizzle and Carp are in suit and tie, Brooks Brothers all the way down to the pocket square. Sully and Rocco are more casually dressed with blazers and open shirt collars. They're part of the regular lunch crowd, and like on most Fridays, they plan on playing through to cocktail hour. Paul sees them and shakes his head.
Well, 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 look what the cat dragged in.
Nice to see you too, Your Eminence.
The two men shake hands and Swizzle bows in mock reverence. Greetings and handshakes are made all around.
Who you got in your sights today, Paul? Someone good, I hope.
I think so. Potential foreign client. I can't tell you where from, of course. You understand?
Sure, we understand.
Could be a good one.
Just don't forget your FARA filings.
Thanks for the tip, Carp. You would know, foreign agent man. What, still representing the Sudanese on ethnic cleansing? Or is it a slot in the chemical weapons now?
Hey, a man's got to eat. These palm lunches ain't cheap.
I know, but don't you want to keep a shred of your soul?
I think Carp lost that last shred in Egypt in '05.
I still don't know how you made it out of that one alive.
How was I supposed to know the Muslim Brotherhood hated my client?
The Israelis.
Oh, fuck you. It was more complicated than that.
Yeah, nothing like an Arab-Israeli dispute to muddy the waters.
One day I'll explain it to you. Lawyers don't understand shit. And you're one to talk, Paul. Who's lunch with today? Human trafficker or aspiring dictator from the stands?
It's classified.
Sure it is. Like I said, don't forget your FARA filings. Or me if you need a little help.
Shameless.
Or me, Paul. You come join us after and fill us in. Good hunting.
As the group walks to their table stage left, Paul grabs Rocco by the arm.
Rocco, speaking of FARA filings,
Oh boy.
I got a call from Justice this morning, Mr. Roberts.
And
Remember that little project I did for a guy, last year for a guy out of Ukraine? I didn't think I needed to register, but somehow word got back to Justice, and Mr. Roberts thinks I should have. Hope it's not too late.
well, me too. Give me some more details.
Paul takes another big sip of his drink and looks at his watch. He looks up and sees the potential client walk through the door stage left.
That's my lunch date. We can chat later.
Okay, good luck. You're probably gonna need the money.
He laughs and slaps Paul on the back again.
Thanks a lot.
Rocco walks over to join the others at their table stage left. Paul puts his drink down on the bar and heads over to greet Mr. Krill, his potential client. He's tall and swarthy, also impeccably dressed. He has a slight accent, but it's difficult to determine where he's from exactly.
Mr. Krill, how are you? Great to see you.
Fine. And you as well?
Shall we sit? My table's ready.
Certainly.
Paul gives a nod to Chuck, who comes out from behind the bar to lead Paul and Krill to Paul's usual table stage right. Chuck comes over and shakes Paul's hand and that of Mr. Krill. He's always very formal and serious when he knows it's a real business lunch.
Chuck, let me introduce you to Mr. Krill. We're ready to sit.
Good afternoon. Nice to meet you, Mr. Krill. Let me show you to your table.
Chuck leads Paul and Krill to the table center stage. Above and to the right of the table on the wall, among the famous palm caricatures of their noteworthy clientele, is a caricature of Paul. It's bigger than the ones around it. Paul sits with his back to the wall facing Krill and the main dining room.
So, how was your flight in?
Marvelous. First class on Emirates is wonderful. Nothing like it.
Yes, indeed. I love it.
So, how are things in Washington?
As the old Chinese proverb goes, we live in interesting times. Looks like Bernie Sanders will capture the Democratic nominee pending a dramatic Biden comeback. Meanwhile, President Trump has been on a victory tour after being acquitted by the Senate on the impeachment trial. Never seen him happier.
You've seen him?
Yes, I did. I told him we'd be meeting, and he sends his regards.
Really? Well, that's nice to hear.
I told him that we'd be discussing your country's position on several fronts, the aid package, military support, and our trading relationship.
Yes, all three are very important to us. And did you comment? Did he comment?
He did. As you know, he dislikes foreign aid, military support, and free trade. That being said, he likes you personally and your president.
That's good to hear.
So, he's open to something on all three you would find agreeable, subject to the terms of the deal, of course. He asked me to figure it out with you and then plan a public assault and lobbying effort on the Hill. He would still need cover.
Cover?
I think covering fire on the battlefield, Mr. Krill. Even Trump can't start writing blank checks without some public support.
Oh, I thought he could.
Sometimes. Most of the Republicans on the Hill will do whatever he asks, but they need cover too. Yours is it's a very complicated part of the world.
Yes, it is. What kind of cover do you suggest?
I'm glad you asked.
Chuck walks over and interrupts.
Gentlemen, the specials today are the steak salad with tomatoes and onions, or with the rice and jalapenos you like, Paul, blackened ribeye over Caesar salad, shrimp etouffee, and salmon over an arugula salad. The soup is crab bisque. Mr. Krill, we also have all of our steaks and chops from the dinner menu and 3, 4, and 5 pound lobsters if you prefer. Can I get you a drink to start?
Mr. Krill, what would you like to drink? Martini? Some wine, perhaps?
I think some wine.
How about that? Oh, sorry.
How about the Argyle Pinot to start?
Great.
Cut over to the other table where Swizzle, Carp, Rocco, and Sully are intently watching Paul and Krill across the room.
You think we just gave him the old Trump sends his regards line?
Yeah, of course, fucker. He loves that one. So strong.
I wonder if it's ever been true.
Does it matter? What's that clowning gonna do? Call the White House? What's that clown gonna do? Call the White House?
Hey, it looks like a rich clown. His suit's nicer than Paul's. Yeah, I could really use Paul to close this guy. January was a little light. I need to sell some pages.
Well, maybe you should go sell some instead of sitting here drinking all day while Paul closes deals for you.
Why would I do that?
I don't think you're capable.
You kidding me? Trump has been so good for business, I don't have to leave here, ever. Everyone knows he at least scans the ads we run every week, or we tweet out some praise and he retweets us. It's beautiful.
Do you even know what a retweet is?
No, do I have to know what that is?
Can we order some drinks, please?
I was hoping someone would suggest that. I'm getting the itchies and the scratchies.
Chuck, it's emergency. Carp's blood alcohol level is dropping.
Chuck comes over to their table and starts rubbing Carp's shoulders. He's very informal and familiar when he knows it's not a real business lunch.
Oh, shit, baby. You're so tense. You didn't have one in the shower this morning?
I did, but that was 3 hours ago.
Okay, I'll get you a martini, stat. Rocco, Johnny Black, Swizzle, a little light beer to start. Sully, we doing a bottle of educated guess?
You're a mind reader, Chuck. But start me off with a Johnny Black as well.
Coming out of the gate hot, I see.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little hungover today.
Surprise.
I had these clients in from New York and took them to dinner. Fucking real estate guys.
Where'd you take him, Camelot?
That was after. I don't eat there, usually.
Well, you know why they call Camelot the shoe show? Because they all wear shoes.
Never gets old, that one. No, I took them to BLT at the Trump. They loved the guy. I think they were wearing MAGA undies.
Did you get in their pants?
Figuratively, yes. Anyway, these guys started with like 2 quad vodskis apiece before ordering multiple 300 bottles of red. Chateau Neuf de Pape 2010?
What does a quad vodka go for at the Trump?
Carp, you don't know?
You rarely buys.
A mere $72 a piece. But fuck it. I was expensing it, right?
So can I buy a $300 bottle of wine today on you?
See?
Are you a client, Carp?
Okay, not yet, but give him time.
I'll expense one if Paul closes that guy.
Fuck, let's go, Paul. Let's go.
All 4 of them stop and look over longingly to Paul's table. Paul and Krill are eating salads and drinking the bottle of red.
So, Mr. Krill, let's start with the PR effort for the cover.
Very good.
We'll start with your traditional media relations. Can't get around that. I'll set up editorial board meetings with the Washington Post, New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal. Along with that, I have several reporters I'm close with, so we can sit down and tell your story.
What is our story?
You live in a very volatile region of the world. You're surrounded by numerous nations who are, in fact, enemies of the United States, or at the very least, harmful to our interests. And despite some minor human rights issues in the past, you're a close ally of the United States and working to become a true democracy.
All true?
I love to use the truth when I can.
And when you can't?
What is truth, really, Mr. Krill? The point is, Trump likes to know exactly who his friends are, and he hates it when a deal blows up in his face. We have to trust that you and your government won't turn on us, on him, and get close to, say, Moscow.
How can I make promises before I know how much support Trump will provide to us? We have our interests too.
Of course you do. No one denies that. But then again, we are looking at $600 million in aid, 60 F-16V fighters, 40 Abrams tanks, missile defense systems, and a pledge to defend you against certain less friendly interests with the U.S. military. That doesn't even include a potential free trade agreement. It doesn't get better than that, Mr. Krill.
If it comes through, yes, but that is a big if.
Exactly. Can you afford it not to come through?
I suppose not.
So, we tell your story to these papers. But here's the problem. I can't guarantee they're going to write a story or stories that are 100% positive. It doesn't work that way anymore.
Fake news.
Fake news. And your history of human rights violations, all of them minor, of course, could generate some unfortunate press.
What is your point?
My point is that we don't want some bullshit reporter, writing some slash piece on that incident in 2012 when we're trying to close on 600 million and 60 F-16s.
Everyone always brings up 2012. So, how do we avoid that?
We buy positive coverage.
I thought you couldn't buy journalists in this country.
Technically, you can't. But these days, you can buy coverage that the media calls native content.
The hell is that? Native content.
It's really advertising. But the reader can't tell the difference between what it is and from the journalists. But the reader can't tell the difference between what is from the journalists and what's from us. We write exactly the way we want it. And by the time we've reposted it on social media time and time again, no one knows it was bought and paid for.
And how is that different than just paying a journalist to write a positive story for us?
That is a philosophical question for another time. For now, this is an accepted form of media outreach.
I see.
We can go further, of course. We can create our own news websites and publish positive information about your economy, culture, military history, whatever you like. We can even put in real press articles in there to make it look like a real news outlet. Again, by the time our stories have appeared throughout social media, no one will know the difference.
I like that.
Me too. And finally, we can hire bloggers and social media people to post all positive information about your country and how important it is to the United States. All PR we control and with a positive message.
Why isn't everyone doing this?
They are, Mr. Krill. They are.
Cut back to the other table where Swizzle is keeping a close eye on Paul and Mr. Krill. Chuck comes over with the drinks.
Okay, gentlemen, here are your beverages. Sully, I brought the wine to save us all some time.
Chuck sets down the drinks and starts reciting the specials while opening the wine and pouring it.
Today I have the steak salad with tomatoes and onions, or with the rice and jalapenos you like, Sully. Blackened ribeye over Caesar salad, shrimp etouffee, and salmon over an arugula salad.
What's the soup, Chuck?
Crab bisque, lots of cream.
I'll do the steak salad with the tomatoes and onions. Medium rare?
Me too.
With jalapenos?
Want me to throw some extra on there?
You know it.
Carp?
Just bring me the soup. I'm not that hungry.
Just thirsty, huh?
Funny.
I like how the guy is nodding and nodding and nodding. You know, Paul usually leads with the PR stunts. That's good for your boy.
I think Paul just pointed over here and said, "See that guy? He's my bitch and will do whatever I say."
Think so?
Sure. Paul loves to claim he owns the media. Your rag that I paper my birdcage with, the Times, the Journal, the Post, all the greats.
Oh, man, tough crowd today.
Yeah, toughen up, kid.
You sound like Mike Bloomberg in that debate the other night. So I told a few jokes these frauds didn't like. So what?
He was shocked Elizabeth Warren would come after him on that shot.
Oh, she had him on the ropes. Release the NDAs. Release the NDAs.
How about the kill the baby line? Old school.
Oh, the pro-lifers went nuts on that one. Sold a bunch of ads. It was awesome.
I'll bet. I prefer that he told every woman he could to blow him. Money talks, bullshit walks.
But I don't think any of them did. Bad for a billionaire.
I'm not like a true closer like our boy Trump.
Hey, Carp, you still have that Stormy Daniels poster up next to your Farrah Fawcett?
Funny douchebag. But yes, I'm a fan of Stormy. Ever seen her work? It's great stuff.
She looks like a lousy lay to me. I prefer the Playboy bunny. What was her name?
Who is Karen McDougal? And yes, very, very strong.
Great 60 Minutes interview with that one. We really loved each other.
Hey, I'm sure they did. Melania didn't mind either. She'd had her green card by then.
Really amazing how Trump gets away with everything and Bloomberg gets put on the cross for some dick jokes.
The Jew on the cross. I like that.
I've never heard that one before.
Or how about Al Franken resigning over the pretend to grab the tips guy? A U.S. senator. Trump would have owned it and moved on in a heartbeat.
Trump would have really grabbed them.
That's because Democrats are pussies. That's why they That's why they were in a circular firing squad in that debate. Pathetic.
They didn't mention Trump once, just dogpile on Bloomberg.
It worked, didn't it?
Yeah, great for Bernie and great for Trump.
Trump would hate to go up against Bloomberg. He has real money, like the small hands thing.
At this point, Trump won't have to worry about it. Bernie and Warren will keep attacking Bloomberg for being rich. I'm sure it'll work.
Yeah, I wish I was young and knew all this free shit was coming my way and I didn't have to work.
If working is sitting at the Palm drinking on your expense account while Paul carries your water, I'd say you're getting a fair amount of free shit.
Cut back to Paul's table.
So, in addition to the native content, we still need to do traditional advertising, mostly in print and online.
Why do we have to spend money on that if we have all the other messages?
Because the other tactic is subtle. The point is, we don't want anyone to know you paid for that. It's supposed to look real.
And the traditional advertising?
To show Washington that you're not afraid to spend money to get what you want. They'll know you're serious.
What about those terrorists we're fighting for you? That isn't serious enough.
Of course, that's serious and much appreciated. But the reality is, you're up against multiple other countries that are strong allies of the United States who also fight terrorism for us. They want that aid money and military support too. You have to show Trump and Congress you want it more.
By spending money on advertising?
Yes. You think anyone reads those ads? Hell no. They, including Trump, just scan through magazines and newspapers to see who's spending money. Then they take notice.
Like some kind of beauty pageant.
Something like that. And it doesn't stop with advertising.
Why would I think it would?
You need to fund positive research on your foreign policy at think tanks. Heritage, Brookings, Hudson. Donate to nonprofits doing good deeds for your people. I always like children and clean water, by the way. And join business groups who support trade and investment in your country. That all takes money.
This is how Washington works.
Washington wouldn't be working without it. Absolutely, Mr. Krill. You have to break through the clutter, as they say. And we haven't even gotten to the lobbying part yet.
Starting to lose my appetite. What does the actual lobbying entail?
I hope not. Here's lunch.
Chuck arrives with their lunches.
Beef tips with the jalapenos, Paul, and Mr. Krill, the filet rare. A little creamed spinach on the side, and let me top off those wine glasses.
Thanks, Chuck.
Cut back to the other table. They're now eating their lunch and the wine is flowing.
Not that I read lips, but I could swear he just said break through the clutter.
You'd think after we've all used that line for 30 years, they'd catch on to it.
Why mess with the good thing? It still works.
I guess they don't have clutter in the rest of the world.
Or lobbyists.
PR hacks.
It's what makes America great.
Hold on now. Look at the Ray and Brexit campaign.
I have no idea how he won that one.
Just blamed everything on the immigrants and the British people loved it. When it was all over, 70% of the people didn't know they had actually voted to leave the EU, right? The number one trending Google search the day after the referendum was, what is Brexit? now that is breaking through the clutter.
They don't read the right-wing Times in London.
It's just like Trump, Swizzle. It's always about you.
Look, it's an election year. The Dems aren't going to give Trump any wins, and everyone knows it. Nothing is going to get done, short of some disaster. These foreign clients can make the difference to me.
Yeah, me too. I hope Paul pulls me in on this one.
I can't imagine why he wouldn't with your stellar reputation, Carp.
Fuck you, Sully.
What about the convention, Swizzle? That's easy money.
It's true, but not enough to make up for a year of zero congressional action. I hate election years.
Well, here's hoping Paul closes deals for you. Or there's a disaster that you're hoping for.
And maybe that Wuhan flu could do it for you, Swizzle.
Fucking Chinese will eat anything. I heard it was a bat this time.
Bat soup, I believe. Touch of cream.
I had that case out there a few years ago. I was there for 3 months. I almost died of starvation. I couldn't eat that gelatinous goop. Couldn't even tell what the meat was.
Dog, probably.
Good news is I lost 25 pounds.
You needed to.
Thanks.
I'm sure it's contained. Trump shuts down all flights from China. Great move.
He's a genius. What could possibly go wrong?
As long as it doesn't get close to the palm, it's fine with me.
How in the hell could a few colds shut down the palm? It's just like the flu, Trump said.
Speaking of conventions, I better start training. 4 days straight of boozing morning to night is a young man's game.
Oh, wait, you don't do that now?
No, thank you very much. I'm at bed at a reasonable hour. I'm hammered maybe, but a reasonable hour. These conventions, they're all my parties every night.
Remember what happened to Timmy Two-Step in 2016?
That's hard to forget.
Yeah, he was at the Dem convention in Philly. It was the last night. Remember Hillary in the white Elvis jumpsuit?
That's impossible to forget.
He and some people I know.
Not you, of course.
Yeah, he and some people I know hit the Club Risque late night. He drops $5,000 on bottles of champagne and I don't know how many lap dances. At about 4 a.m. in a drunken stupor, he decides he should head right back home and jumps on the train. He gets home about 7 a.m. as his wife is getting the kids out the door for school. When he walks in the door, his wife takes one look at him and says, "You fucking idiot."
He has no idea what she's talking about until he goes to take a look in the mirror.
Timmy is covered head to toe in stripper sparkles.
He tried to claim it was from the Hillary victory party, but the wife wasn't buying.
I bet his kids were impressed.
His wife didn't talk to him for weeks.
Hey, did you see that Timmy just bagged Philip Morris as a client?
I guess they don't care about stripper sparkles.
They love him.
Cut back to Paul and Krill.
We need a few champions on the Hill to support the aid package and authorize the sale of the weapons. Now, I have my usual go-to players, but some more campaign contributions wouldn't hurt.
How could they?
The issue is you personally or any member of your government can't make contributions directly. No foreign donations are allowed.
Of course not. So what do we do?
You leave that to me. I have ways around these little regulations, but just know only a war chest full of funds offshore I can access as needed. The Caymans, Panama, or Macau are all fine.
That wouldn't be a problem.
Good. Once we have our friends on the Hill, I can certainly set up meetings with them, and you or other members of your government to press them for the aid package.
And what about Trump?
Do you play golf, Mr. Krill?
I do. Not very well, but I do.
Even better. I'm a member at Mar-a-Lago, and we'll take you down there for some golf with Trump. The season there ends in a couple months, so we'll want to move fast on that one.
You can really arrange a golf outing with him?
Yes. Just don't beat him, Mr. Krill. That would be a disaster.
How good is he?
Oh, he's known to use a few foot wedges around, but not bad. I don't care if you're a scratch. You don't beat him. Understood?
Very well.
After we do that, we'll have the requisite meetings with the State Department, the CIA, and the military. And if they know you played golf with Trump, it should all be a formality.
Your national security is a formality when golf is involved?
Only if you lose, Mr. Krill.
So, the future of my country is based on a lousy round of golf at Mar-a-Lago.
You could say so. Now, here's the thing, Mr. Krill. Our election is 9 months away. Now, I don't think Trump will lose. The economy has never been stronger, the market higher, but anything's possible. You never know what might happen.
It's true. You never know, Paul.
So, we need to move fast and make this happen before the election. If you were to lose, all bets are off. Things won't work like this with Joe Biden or, God forbid, Bernie Sanders takes the, if Joe Biden or, God forbid, Bernie Sanders takes the White House.
What would happen then?
I shudder to think. But a hell of a lot more would be required than a round of golf.
Cut back to the other table.
I could tell Paul dropped the Mar-a-Lago line on him. That's a close move.
How could you tell?
Well, there was a little shimmy in his shoulders, so I can tell he was talking golf.
You kidding? A shimmy?
You ever play golf with them? Yes, a shimmy.
Huh. Never noticed.
Does he really have a membership at Mar-a-Lago?
Who cares? Again, is that guy going to call the membership department at Mar-a-Lago and check to see if Paul's on a roll?
What about the round of golf with Trump? Has he ever made that happen?
Yeah, I heard he did once.
Who told you that?
Paul, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can get that guy down there, and even without the golf, he'll get a photo with Trump. That's all he really needs. That'll show the world this guy in whatever country he's from is tight with Trump. Game over.
Yeah, I know Paul can get the Trump photo. I've seen plenty of those, right, Rocco?
Oh, no comment. Attorney-client privilege.
Big deal. Not hard to get a photo with Trump. He loves any photo of.
Hey, how many do you have, Carp?
Actually, a few. Take a look.
Carp pulls out his phone, scrolls through his photos, and passes it down the table.
Holy shit, that really is you and Trump. Who's that black dude?
One of my African clients.
From a shithole country?
Something like that. Photo was worth 6 figures, by the way.
Well, so why don't you buy us a $300 bottle?
Already spent. And I couldn't get the guy anything he was asking for, and so lost a client.
Well, Trump couldn't find his country on a map.
It happens, Carp. Can't win them all.
No, unfortunately, you can't.
Cut back to Paul's table. Paul and Krill are drinking espresso.
Paul, this is a very interesting strategy.
Trust me, Mr. Krill, if we follow this plan, you'll get whatever you want.
And how much will this plan cost us?
Mr. Krill, I typically don't like to talk budgets at lunch.
Humor me. I need to get back to the home office on this as soon as possible. I may even fly home tonight, so I need to know now.
100,000 per month from March through December. And I'd estimate 5 million for the media relations, advertising, third-party funding, and various political contributions.
So, $6 million.
To get 600 million. Not a bad deal.
Suppose. Again, if we get it. Otherwise, my country will have wasted $6 million.
Buying goodwill in Washington is always money well spent. It's a marathon, not a sprint, Mr. Krill.
Is it? I'll head back to the embassy now and we'll get back to you.
Very good, Mr. Krill. Let me walk you out. Don't worry about the bill. I'll get it.
Thanks for lunch.
Paul and Krill get up from the table, and Paul walks to the door stage left, while Swizzle and the others watch them intently. After walking Krill out of the Palm, Paul walks back in and goes to sit down with the others. The lighting has gotten a shade darker as it's now mid-afternoon and most of the lunch crowd has left.
Oh, I thought that guy would never leave. The double espresso at the end took another half an hour.
Yeah, please tell me you closed.
I didn't close them at the table, Swizzle. That looks too desperate. Do I look like a street corner whore to you?
Should I answer that?
No.
I'd say high-class escort for sure.
Thanks. It looked good, I think. Those guys don't need Trump waking up one morning and pulling our troops out. That guy might not survive that, literally.
Desperate clients are the best.
Funny. So I kept my dick in my pants and told them to think about it, think it over, and call me. I did pitch the Cadillac fees and not the Hyundai.
So that's good. In advertising?
Oh,
Paul, that's Swizzle's close on you in case you missed it.
I got it. Don't worry, Swizzle. You're in there big, fucking hell. You're in there big if I get it.
What about me?
We'll see, Carp.
Paul grabs the bottle of red and fills his glass halfway up. He loosens his tie and takes a big sip. While drinking, they all look up and see Candy and Jojo walking into the Palm stage left. They're both well-dressed and perfectly appointed. Both have expensive hairstyles dyed multiple shades, Jojo blonde and Candy brunette with highlights. The nails, shoes, and handbags also scream big money. The two walk up to the table where the others are sitting.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of high-class escorts.
Very nice, Carp. Heard of me too? Ever?
What's that? Some liberal bullshit?
Yeah, liberal bullshit.
Well, when did you two become snowflakes?
Since they convicted Weinstein last week for being a creep like you.
Interesting move there. Fuck the guy for a movie role, date him for 3 years, and then call it rape.
Seriously?
That is creepy. That is creepy.
Seriously, Carp, that's low, even for you.
Wow. He was actually convicted of providing oral pleasure to one of them. I didn't think that could be a crime.
Yeah, I agree. Forced cunnilingus should be totally legal.
Carp, like the time that gay dude tied you up and blew you?
No, I get it. consent is yes, unless you change your mind later and feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, I'm sure your wife feels that way about you saying I do.
Can we get a drink, please, before we have to listen to your nonsense?
Paul stands up to welcome the women and invite them to sit down. As he stands, all the other men follow his lead.
Please excuse my comrade there. He left his manners in his other suit. Please sit down, Jojo. Sit next to me so I can paw you under the table.
Wait, is that better than calling us escorts? Anyway, who cares? I could use a little pawing. I've had a rough day.
Jojo kisses Paul hello on the cheek and sits next to him.
Yeah, like shilling for big pharma and raising money for shitty politicians is somehow better than being an escort.
Carp, please. How about a little foreplay before you start attacking the ladies?
Chuck has walked over to the table, seeing Jojo and Candy come in and knowing they'll want a drink.
Hello, Jojo. Candy, looking lovely as always.
Chuck, bring the ladies a bottle of Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc and 2 straws.
A true gentleman.
Coming right up.
Chuck walks away to get the wine.
So, why the rough day, baby?
The Chinese virus is starting to make everyone nervous. First, our supply chain for other drugs comes from, you guessed it, China. So we're fucked there. And second, we're scrambling to see if we can have anything that can stop this thing.
What is it with everyone? Trump stopped all flights from China. It's over.
Carp, you're not just worried because you've caught every virus known to man, so you're probably immune.
Funny.
This is far from over. It's just getting started. The Chinese have been lying since day one on this thing, and we don't even know if it came from the wet market or their bio-warfare lab.
Trump says there's another hoax from the Democrats. I believe him.
You see what they did to Wuhan? They basically destroyed the roads in and out of the city so people couldn't leave. They were arresting anyone who tried. Shooting some.
That's how it works over there. Very effective.
My donors aren't worried. They think Trump is doing a great job.
Heck of a job, Brownie.
So where have you been hiding, Candy? We haven't seen you in a while. Trying to be a good girl?
I haven't been hiding. I've been raising money for shitty politicians. Lots of money.
Sure business is good?
Very. Trump at the top of the ticket just makes my life easy peasy Japanesey. I literally just take inbound calls all day.
Is that politically correct? Japanesey?
Damn, Swizzle thought he had it easy drinking at the Palm all day while Paul closed for him.
Candy, you have been hiding. What's up?
Well, I shouldn't say anything. What the hell? We're all friends, right?
Right.
Susie had to go to rehab.
Just the booze or the blow too?
But Susie does blow?
Just the booze, I think. But as my best friend, it caused a little bit of a stir on the home front.
Wait, your husband doesn't know you're a lush yet?
Lush, yeah. 28 days at Father Hurley's alcoholic? Not so much.
Remember our old partner, Chris?
The one who used to put a tea bag in his mug of Jack Daniels in the morning to fool everyone?
Yeah, that guy. He spent 30 grand going to Betty Ford and came back and said that he had the time of his life. Met all these cool Hollywood types and kept partying. He said they'd have people put blow inside tennis balls and throw them over the fence into the tennis court. Can you believe that?
What a waste of 30 grand.
I don't know. He said he fucked some famous actress. I can't remember her name, but that's pretty good.
30 grand good? And you can't even remember her name?
Hey, I didn't fuck her.
She must have been one hell of an actress.
Probably faked a better awesome orgasm than Sally in the deli.
I don't mind faking, as long as I think I did a good job.
It's all about you. You're the best, honey.
Yeah, see, now I feel better.
I'm sure Susie got laid at Father Hurley. She's a closer.
Oh, indeed. She is. I heard she fucked Fat Jimmy in the bathroom of the Hotel DuPont.
Fat Jimmy. Oh, he's disgusting.
That must have been the wake-up call.
You know you're an alcoholic when you're fucking Fat Jimmy in a hotel bathroom.
You would know, Sully.
Hey, I'm bi-curious. What can I say?
Shit, I didn't even know that story, and she's my best friend.
You just know about all her other seedy stories.
I heard it was like 3 p.m. after they had a boozy lunch at that Irish place there.
I too get horny after a few JMOs and some shepherd's pie. Hey, Jojo, want to join me in the bathroom?
No, I'm not there yet. Check back after the second bottle of Sauv Blanc.
It wasn't a no, Paul. Run with that.
Oh, so I get it, Candy. So your husband doesn't care about your drinking, but if he thinks you're closing the side deals all over town, a la your friend, then he starts to wonder?
Something like that. Oh, Chuck, thank goodness you arrived.
As if on cue, Chuck comes over with another bottle of red and the bottle of white.
Oh, how's it going, kids? What's the matter, Candy Baby? Your dog die?
Carp's giving her a hard time, as usual.
Don't worry, Chuck. Carp and I are having an arm wrestling contest this afternoon.
Are you kidding me? You'll kill him. I'm putting a mortgage payment on Paul. Sorry, I just read your line. I'm skinny but strong.
Right. Don't worry, Carp. We'll have a little lunchtime Olympics. I'll take you on in rock, paper, scissors. Best 2 out of 3.
And some go fish after that? I like that.
Now stick to rock, paper, scissors. I don't want to throw you out here like the. Oh, that's sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Stick to rock, paper, scissors. I don't want to throw you out of here like the last arm wrestling incident.
That was bullshit. I didn't mean to knock over the table.
Well, you did. The ambassador really appreciated the red wine on his soup. This is the Palm, baby, not Applebee's.
But I paid for his lunch and his dry cleaning.
You're a hell of a guy, Carp.
Rocco, can we have a chat about that Farr thing?
Sure. Let's go to the bar.
Paul and Rocco get up and start walking to the bar.
I just got here, and now you're leaving.
I just need a quiet word with Rocco, baby. Be right back.
You better. Don't leave me alone with these animals.
Oh, thanks.
Paul and Rocco walk to the bar and Chuck follows them.
You two need something stronger than wine?
Let me have another Jack, please, and bring Rocco a Johnny Black.
Jack and Johnny, got it.
So, the Ukrainian guy.
Yeah, he was this aspiring politician, thought he had a shot at the presidency, you know the type. He has all the money in the world.
And how'd he get that money?
Natural gas, mostly.
Mostly.
Chuck delivers the 2 drinks to the bar.
One Jack, one Johnny.
Thanks, Chuck.
I'll be back to freshen you up.
Chuck walks away. The 2 men each take a long sip of their drinks.
There were rumors and allegations of human trafficking.
Ah, the great Ukrainian export. Strippers. So, never been to a strip joint in the world that didn't have a Ukrainian. Remember Reykjavik? They only had 2 girls in the place, both Ukrainian.
How could I forget Reykjavik or those 2 strippers? It might have been a bit more serious than strippers, but again, there were only rumors and allegations.
Of course.
There was also some talk of drugs.
Pharmaceuticals?
I wish.
Okay, so what this guy want?
First of all, he wanted reputation management. You know, see if he could get rid of all those rumors and allegations, especially on the internet.
And how does one do that?
Well, you basically hire a bunch of bloggers throughout Eastern Europe and Europe to write positive stories about the guy. Then you get a bunch of shitbirds in the Middle East and Asia to click on them all day and repost them. Slowly, those bad stories end up on page 65 of your Google search and no one sees them. Most people go to page 2, tops.
Very nice. I need to remember that one. So what's the problem?
Well, the guy was very insistent. I didn't register for FARA for this reputation management. I was very hesitant, of course.
He probably opened his checkbook.
I must admit he was willing to pay a lot of money.
No doubt.
So I started thinking that since all this work is being done offshore, there really isn't a need to register. And I can always keep the money offshore, so no worries there.
I'm not sure it works that way.
Well, it sure as shit used to work that way.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm not one of Trump's friends who got busted doing shady international deals.
Sorry. Anyway, I did the work and got the money, which I did leave offshore.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Phase 2 of this project, once his reputation was fixed, was to lobby Trump and key members of Congress to support this guy's presidential aspirations. For that, I told the guy I had no choice but to register as a foreign agent.
All right, so let me guess. The Justice Department is now asking you some uncomfortable questions about your relationship with this guy?
Correct. And it's a little worse.
But don't tell me you brought some of that money home.
Just a little.
6 or 7 figures?
Small 7.
Not good.
Thanks for the pick-me-up, Tony Robbins.
A lot of you?
Yes.
Chuck walks back over to them.
Ready for another?
Definitely.
Chuck grabs their glasses, adds some ice, and pours the drinks.
You two got all serious all of a sudden.
Just the usual nonsense.
Hey, we don't do worries here. I mean, when Roger Stone was indicted, where did he go after lunch? Palm, baby.
I think that's what we're trying to avoid, Chuck.
Lunch?
The indictment part.
I think he's getting sentenced today.
What the hell did he even do?
Election fraud, lying to Congress, the usual.
What's this town coming to? We're getting soft.
Lying to Congress used to be a badge of honor.
Amen.
Didn't you watch Fox last night? Trump said he'll pardon him. He'll be off like a prom dress.
You watch Fox, Chuck? Seriously?
My wife likes it.
Sure.
You can always run to the Ukraine and hide.
It's an option.
Chuck walks away.
Any other options for me?
I'm sure Trump will pardon you too, all those rounds of golf.
I always let him win.
I can call the justice and take their temperature. Maybe it's just a little audit and it'll blow over.
Okay. Now?
Now, I'm drinking.
Just call your guy there and see what he says.
Killing me, okay, I'll be back.
Rocco takes his drink and walks outside to make a call. Chuck comes back and starts talking to Paul again.
We need Vegas. Let's head out there and take our minds off it.
I definitely need to take my mind off this shitstorm.
Got the whole schedule down. Day 1, we ease into it with a little golf, dinner. We hit the tables. Next morning, we get up and head poolside. A couple of bloodies to take the edge off. Then a little lunch. We go inside for a nap. Get up and head for a massage, the real kind, not Asian. Then a long steam to sweat it out, back to our room for a Pilates, a shave, a shower, a little gambling before dinner, grab a steak. Hey, maybe even dial in some professional services. Party all night, head straight to the airport, get the hell out of Dodge.
That does sound good.
See if there's a flight coming in. Always like to see a flight out. I always want to see if there's a fight coming in. Always like to see a fight out there.
Shit. Let's do it. I think I may need to get out of town for a while.
Cut back to the table.
So, Candy, you're really killing it on the fundraising.
Jesus, Swizzle, envy doesn't become you.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I sure am. I mean, I couldn't picture a better scenario here. The economy's going gangbusters. Stock market's at an all-time high. Unemployment is at an all-time low. There's no real armed conflicts out there and nothing bad on the horizon. Plus, we're up against the socialists on the other side. It doesn't get easier than that.
What about the fact that Trump is a lying asshole?
No one cares. Those days are over. You may badmouth him at limousine liberal cocktail parties in Georgetown, but you secretly love him for how well he is.
What about that achy feeling like you just sold your soul to the devil?
I've had that feeling for a while. You get over it.
No.
Do you really want to live in a socialist country, Sully? Imagine a world where the government had to pay for everything. Healthcare, education through college, unemployment benefits so big no one would want to work, and business bailouts for everyone. Come on, no one wants that.
I would have liked it 25 years ago before I went to law school and toiled away at a law firm. Sounds great.
You right-wing extremists always have to be so dramatic. Bernie isn't saying that he wants communism, just a little more equality. You always assume that people are lazy and want to sit around all day on the government dime playing Call of Duty 5 and getting high.
Kind of like you, Swizzle.
Now, I'm more of a Grand Theft Auto guy.
Look, I don't care what the arguments might be. The bottom line is Trump saying we're not taking shit anymore. And Bernie's saying, we're taking your shit and we're giving it to the poor. It's simple. And that is great for raising Republican money.
And how about you, Joe? You want the government taking over the drug companies and setting prices for you? Might make affording those Jimmy Choos a bit tougher.
Yeah, those stay on, by the way.
Yeah, of course they do. Now, did Bernie say that? I don't recall. Biden definitely never said it.
Right, but I can't imagine a scenario where people would want the government paying for everyone's medical treatment. It's not the American way.
Yeah, the point is moot anyway. Anyone check the market today? It's over 29,000. No incumbent loses with a market like that.
Paul walks over to the table.
Carp holding forth. What bit of wisdom did I miss?
His presidential pick. Want to guess?
Death, taxes, and carp.
And Trump in 2020.
God help us. Look, I understand why the high school educated white guys like Trump. And you're right. It's hard for even us highly educated white guys not to like our 401ks. The real estate market is booming too, but explain women to me, Candy.
Really, Sully? You don't understand women at your age?
I actually don't, but I mean, how all these soccer moms can like him.
They like his toughness and how he fucks with the media. It's not all about hashtag Me Too and abortion for women, especially Republican women. So he cheated on his wife a few times and he said, grab the pussy. Judge not that ye not be judged.
You're putting Trump and Jesus in the same sentence?
You know what I mean. Everybody has his faults, makes mistakes. I think women understand that even better than men.
Yeah, women cheat too and say grab him by the dick.
Everyone stops talking and looks at Carp.
That shit is profound. Where's Rock, by the way?
He's making a phone call. He's the only guy who works around here.
Rocco walks back in on cue. He motions to Paul to come join him again at the bar. The two walk over to the bar and belly up once again.
So, what'd he say?
I'd be making a tea time at Mar-a-Lago if I was you.
Come on.
The deal is, it's not just a little audit. Like, there's a real problem here, and they might want to make an example of you. They're looking for guys like you.
Fucking Democrats. They couldn't impeach Trump, and now they're coming after everyone. I remember when no one had even heard about Farah.
That was before the Russians meddled in our election, and Trump tried to buy off the Ukrainians to take down Biden.
A2, Rocco?
Listen, sure. They'll start an investigation. I'll drag it out until after November easy. Either I get you off, or we settle, and you get a slap on the wrist. Trump's a lock to win, so you have 9 months to tee up your pardon instead of a golf ball.
Great fucking plan. I can't believe your hourly rate is $9.50.
Oh, it's going up too. I'll handle it. Come, sit down.
The two walk back to the table. Paul's agitated.
Hey, Jojo, want to smoke a cigarette?
I thought you'd never ask.
Jojo gets up from the table and she and Paul walk with their drinks outside the front door of the Palm, stage left. When they get outside, Paul fishes into his suit jacket for his pack of cigarettes, takes two out, lights Jojo's, then his own.
Why do you need a cigarette so bad?
Legal problems. And I wanted some one-on-one time with you.
Uh-huh. What kind of legal problems?
The usual nonsense. Hard to be a lobbyist these days.
Really? I find it easy. The swamp has never been more full of bullshit.
Maybe when you work for a big pharma company, my clients are a bit different.
Well, you know I love you, but maybe you should stop with the shady foreign shit. Enough is enough.
Maybe. So, you doing good?
Good as can be expected.
Are you still seeing Carl?
No, that fizzled out. I knew it would.
He was a dud. Fucking financial planners.
I guess so. Not bad for an online date. He was decently fun and not bad in bed, really.
Really? That is surprising.
Well, sometimes it's the quiet ones.
I just want to apologize for how things have been.
No need. You're traveling all the time. No time for a relationship. You told me that over and over and over.
You do know I have feelings for you.
Oh, honey, I know you do. But that's not enough.
Really? Should we get hitched?
Whoa, slow down, cowboy. I'm not saying we need to get married. Just that I'm looking for a little bit more than a quarterly random hookup.
Why? We've had some great nights.
Sure, yeah, but there are times when a girl does want a guy showing up around midnight drunk and horny. But after a while, it gets old, and I think I'm getting a little too old for that.
I wasn't always drunk, was I?
Come on, Paul.
How old are you anyway?
Almost 40, babe. Shit has to change.
40? I thought you were younger.
I said almost.
Listen, what do you say I get the presidential suite at the Four Seasons tonight? Order a case of Veuve Clicquot, and we can take a champagne bath. Drink ourselves out of it.
Sounds sticky.
And bubbly.
Sounds tempting.
The two put out their cigarettes and walk back inside and over to the table. The palm is now dimly lit, and Chuck is walking around putting candles on each table and the bar getting ready for the dinner crowd. Everyone at the table is looking disheveled at this point. Ties askew, hair messy, words slurry.
You guys are a mess.
Thanks. You look like shit too.
What do you say we adjourn to the bar? It's time.
Agreed.
They all get up and saunter over to the bar. As they get to the bar, Paul's phone rings. He takes it out of his jacket, steps aside, and answers it.
Mr. Krill, good to hear from you. Just give me a minute, please.
Paul walks outside to take the phone call while everyone watches him.
What is it with you and Paul?
Something you'd never understand, Carp.
Try me.
We've seen each other on and off for years. There are real feelings there. Again, something you would never understand.
I don't understand feelings. Sure I do.
Okay, Carp, if you say so.
You don't think I've forgotten, have you?
No, and I haven't either.
What happened to us?
Seriously, Carp, you were my boss. I made a mistake, and so did you.
I don't think it was a mistake at all.
I'm sure you don't.
Hey, I didn't press you into anything, and you seemed to like it, as I recall.
As I said, you were my boss, and a lot nicer back then. What, was I not supposed to break into that bottle of scotch in your office when you offered it?
You could have said no.
Or gone out to drinks all the time after work? It was bound to happen.
Again, you could have said no.
Really?
Wait, are you pulling me too on me?
Oh, Carp. I don't know. Like I said, I was young and you were my boss. I don't remember if I felt pressured to sleep with you or not. Does it even matter?
It sure does, yeah. I've never pressured a woman to sleep with me. Ever.
Maybe you just didn't realize it.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I mean that Washington thing, the young, impressionable female staffer, handsome, powerful male boss, lots of booze. You do the math.
You're saying I'm handsome?
You were once.
Happens every day.
I know. Does that make it okay? If not forced somehow?
Hell no. You said yes. And often.
Look, I'm not saying I wasn't attracted to you. I'll just say that the work dynamic facilitated it.
Good thing I'm not up for a Supreme Court spot.
I wouldn't worry about that card.
We don't work together now. Let's give it another shot. I know we had feelings for each other.
You're married, Carp, and I'm friends with your wife.
She doesn't care.
Really? Should I ask her?
We have a special arrangement.
Maybe you do, but I'm still not interested.
What the fuck does Paul have I don't?
Class, sophistication, charm, and much bigger hands.
Swizzle has pulled Candy aside to talk to her.
Judge lest thee be judged. Please tell me your husband didn't find out.
I'm not sure. That's why I've been so nervous.
I knew he stayed out too late last time.
You always do. He just happened to be awake this time.
Fuck.
Yeah. He said, fundraiser, go till 2 a.m. tonight. I was so drunk, I just started laughing. Is that funny, he asked.
What'd you say?
I said it was the usual, that we went to Martin's, things went late.
That's good. He had to buy that.
I would think so, but then he starts asking whom I'm with. And I think I hesitated again because I'm hammered.
Well, never hesitate, never.
I know, rookie move. And I start naming the usual suspects, but I didn't mention you for some reason. And then he asks, Swizza wasn't there? It was like he was on to us. And then I said something like, oh yeah, of course he was there. And then he says, I'm sure he was. And then he walks away all disgusted, and I'm standing in the entrance kind of scared and also kind of not giving a shit. If he wasn't such an asshole, I wouldn't be doing this anyway, would I?
Oh, I thought you liked me.
Of course I do, Swizz. You know what I mean? And what about your wife? She never asks any questions?
I think I've lowered the bar so much she isn't questioned much. As long as the bill
That sounds wonderful.
And she sure as shit never waits up for me.
I guess you have that going for you.
I know. So, how about tonight? Let's grab dinner and...
What? Head back to your office?
Yeah, sure, why not? If he already knows.
Sure, why not?
Sully has pulled Rocco aside.
So what was the heart-to-heart with Paul all about?
He's fucked.
Again?
No, this time could be the one.
What now?
Long story, but basically he got greedy, brought some money home that he should have kept offshore.
What is it with these guys and not following the simple rules of beating the system? Just like Jackie Abramov, right?
How could I forget? Used the wrong credit card to pay for a golf trip to Scotland?
What about launder through the nonprofit didn't he understand? And those Indians out of millions of dollars.
Native Americans, you get sloppy, guys get sloppy and greedy.
I was wondering about the new 911. Seemed a little over the top.
It's tough to be on Tinder at his age.
Not going to help him if he gets sent upstate to the farm.
Hopefully it won't come to that, but my guy at Justice was fire and brimstone. They're just looking to make example of people, and Paul's perfect.
Yeah, he has Russian meddling plastered all over the resume.
It's a hoax. He's close enough to Trump to make a nice media splash.
I thought that was bullshit.
No, he is. Raised a bunch of money for his campaign. Paul was all in on Trump from the start.
No shit? I never knew that.
Paul keeps his cards close to the vest. He can get to Trump. That's what kills me. He can legitimately make tons of money lobbying the old-fashioned way. I don't know why he needs these sketchy foreign deals.
How many yachts can Paul water ski behind?
I get it. Everyone wants more. But still, risking jail time doesn't make sense to me.
No, me neither. But he thinks he's untouchable. I still can't believe he's that tight with Trump. Paul always seemed a lot smarter to me than getting behind that asshole.
Carp has been listening into the conversation and interjects. He's quite drunk at this point and angry at Jojo's rejection. Sully is equally drunk and angry.
Fuck you, Sully. Trump. Why is Trump an asshole? Because he made you too much money in real estate over the last 3 years? Fuck you. Poor you.
First of all, I don't need Trump to make me money. And second, he fucking lies all the time and is ignorant on really important shit. How about that?
Yeah. What? Like politicians never lie? Trump's the first politician who ever said something untrue. I never had sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Remember that? Should I go on?
You want to talk about sexual indiscretion now? And blowjobs don't count, by the way.
No, I don't. I don't give a shit about any of that. I want to talk to you. I want to talk about why the fuck everyone thinks Trump is so different than any other fucking president we've had. They all lie.
How about dividing the country at every turn? You want to start with a Russian interference appetizer, Charlottesville Nazis main course, and top it off with the Ukrainian extortion dessert?
This country is it's divided. It always has been. Remember the Civil War? What was that, Trump's fault too?
No, but I'm sure he'd say that there were good people on both sides, and slavery is great for the economy.
Face it, there are some people in America that love their fucking guns. Want to say Merry Christmas instead of saying Happy Holidays and think gay marriage is a sin. And then there's people like you.
People like me? You mean people with a fucking brain who don't think we need AR-15s on the street? The evangelical Christians sold out any shred of moral decency they had so Trump could put conservative justices on the Supreme Court and could give a rat's ass if the gays want to give up being single and settle down like the rest of us idiots?
Carp and Sully have gotten very heated and closer to each other as the argument has continued.
Come on now, boys. Take it easy.
Oh, fuck. Take it easy. Take it easy. I'm so sick of hypocritical bastards like Sully complaining that Trump makes them so mad. That's the entire point. A couple of tweets and your panties get all tangled up.
Yeah, my fucking panties are tangled up. Your boy has left us hanging alone in the world with his racist America First bullshit, turned his back on the last 80 years of international cooperation, and made us the laughingstock of the whole world.
Laughingstock? Why? Because we want the Europeans to pay their fair share of NATO? Or make the Chinese stop stealing our IP and dumping their shitty product on our market?
Yes, laughingstock. Trump doesn't know the first thing about any of this. He probably doesn't even know why we have NATO in the first place, or how the fuck tariffs work. The American consumer pays for the tariffs, Carp, remember? It's fucking tax. You think the Chinese give a fuck? They're playing the long game.
Maybe. But Trump is playing here and now. Uncle Sam doesn't get fucked. He does the fucking.
Really? You moron? Let's see how this new virus plays out.
Who are you calling a moron, you little fucking asshole?
Carp gets into Sully's face.
Really, Carp? You want to go? I'd love nothing more than to exact my anger on you.
Oh, go ahead, big talker. Go ahead.
Sully grabs Carp by the lapels and practically lifts him off the ground. Chuck has seen this coming and rushes to break them apart.
No fighting at the Palm, you two. What the hell do you think you are? Quit it or take it outside. You want me to cut you off?
God forbid. Come on, you two, settle down.
The two break apart and collect themselves, smoothing down their hair and clothes. They're both breathing heavy and still eyeballing each other.
Let's have another Johnny Black, Sully. Carp, what are you having?
The group is now standing in silence like scolded school children, sipping their drinks. A darkness has descended on the Palm, literally with the evening lighting and figuratively with the mood of the players. The silence continues for an uncomfortable amount of time. Finally, Paul comes back inside after talking to Krill.
What the hell happened here? This looks less fun than an Irish wake.
Just a little political discourse gone awry.
Do I need to take everyone to the shoe show to cheer you up?
Do we need cheering up? Weren't you talking to your lunch date? Don't tell me that.
As a matter of fact, I was.
And,
of course, I closed the deal. It's go time!
Ah, yes, my man, I knew it. Let's talk pages.
Yeah, let me know if you need help.
I'll We looking for some checks, Paul?
Hey, cheers to President Trump. I'll take that $300 bottle of wine now, Swizzle.
You got it. Chuck, next round on me.
Congrats, baby. I'll take that champagne bath now.
I knew you'd come around.
Congrats, Paul. Get that contract signed and submit the FARA filing.
We can talk about that Monday. We may have to play it a little different.
You kidding me?
Rocco, I know you're my lawyer, but don't rain on my parade. Let's celebrate.
Let's talk.
Rocco pulls Paul aside. The rest of the stage goes dark while the spotlight shines on the two of them.
I'm not trying to ruin the party, but
What, Rocco?
I assume you're doing the usual setup. Offshore slush funds, buying fake media, greasing palms around town. You have to register.
I don't have to do anything.
You have to play this one by the book, Paul.
What book are you referring to?
The Old Testament. Now, I don't think you understand the gravity of your situation.
No one understands it better than I do. What if Krill doesn't want me to register? Should I turn down the deal?
I'm not sure I was clear before. Justice is coming after you, Paul, and hard.
Good. Let them.
You brought that Ukrainian money home. If they put all the pieces together, you can go to jail. Get it?
Fuck them.
They're watching you, Paul, and closely. If you don't play this New Deal straight, you'll make their case. You'll run up more. They'll run you up on more charges. Look for a longer sentence.
I said, fuck them. Lions don't awake at night worrying about the problems of sheep.
The Justice Department are the sheep, right?
That's fucking right. Sheep. A bunch of bureaucratic lawyers working for that sweet government pension. Let them come after me. They have no idea what I have to go through to make it rain. You think these corrupt countries with oil and gas money come around every day? You notice Switzerland doesn't spend a ton of money on lobbying, do they, Rock? It isn't just closing deals over lunch. Every year, day in and day out, hustling for the biz. Then you win one and you're worried they'll fire you tomorrow, or worse, not pay their bill. What, you're gonna sue GoFuckMeistan for your fees? Even so. You know how many guys in this town would kill to have Krill as a client? How many would try to steal him from me when they found out I got him? Hell, Carp would stick a knife in my back if he thought he could handle a guy like Krill on his own. You think any of them care about a fucking FARA filing? We're talking a $6 million account, one of the largest deals you'll ever see, plus the power I get spending money all around town. Everyone from Trump down onto that junior congressman from who gives a shit where with their handout, gratefully lapping up those campaign contributions. Do you think they give a damn where I get that money? You think Candy cares when she cashes her commission check? Or Swizzle when I buy all those ads no one will ever read? Or how about that think tank on Near East policy no one cares about? They gotta eat too. Even you, Rocco. I pay my legal bills, don't I? And you get your bonus. Everybody like vultures circling, waiting for the rest of the carcass I leave behind. I didn't make Washington this way, Rock. It made me. So yes, I'm the fucking lion, and they can go fuck themselves!
Fine, Paul. Just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll send you the bill.
Thanks.
Paul turns back to the rest of the group. The spotlight dims and we can see the entire group now in the darkly lit bar with candles on it, casting shadows. They're still drinking happily, celebrating Paul's conquest. They haven't overheard Paul and Rocco's conversation.
How are we doing over here, kids?
Great.
Right.
How about we go to the shoe show and see the changing of the guards? On me.
Oh, sorry. Just got a call. Right in the middle. I'll take the day shifter. I'll take the day shifter better looking for $100.
You're on. I'll take the night.
Let's go.
They all start walking to the door, but Rocco isn't moving.
Are you coming, Rock?
You guys go ahead. I'm going to have one more here and go home.
Suit yourself. Thanks, Chuck.
Welcome. Say hi to the girls for me.
The group walks out the door happy and ready to celebrate. Rocco sits at the bar, his hair a mess, shoulders slumped. Chuck comes around the bar with a drink.
Not sure you need it, but here's one more. What the hell? Johnny Black on me.
Chuck puts the drink down and starts massaging Rocco's shoulders.
Thanks, Chuck. Here's to the last of the day.
Rocco raises his glass and takes a big sip. Chuck sits down next to him at the bar.
Don't sweat Paul too much. He loves you.
You overheard?
Hard not to.
He's been my best friend for 25 years, and he just treated me like the help.
I know the feeling, believe me.
I guess you do. You know the worst thing?
What's that?
He actually doesn't always pay his bill. You know how much free advice I've given that guy over the years? I could have retired by now. Instead, I grind away at the firm.
No surprise, but as I said, he loves you like a brother. He just had one too many and got on his high horse.
You could go to jail, Chuck. And he just doesn't care.
You've gotten him out of jams in the past. I'm sure you'll do it again.
Maybe, but this one seems a bit different. I got a bad feeling about it.
You could be right, but look, Paul plays high-stakes poker. You know how many guys like him I've seen walk through that door over the last 30 years? That's how the game is played. Some guys win and get their picture on the wall, and some don't. Can't afford lunch here anymore. They'll stop showing up, or worse, they'll grab a sandwich around the corner and come here and spend their money on booze.
Yeah, I know some of those guys myself. Stake at the Palm one day, tune on Ryan, the Park the next. There, before the grace of God, go I.
Amen, brother. Amen.
The end.